Hi, welcome to the video. My name is Asim Amjad. In this video, we will learn about how we can automate the RULA worksheet using Microsoft Excel. On your screen, you can see the RULA worksheet values that is actually indicated in the black cell, and the values that are showing in the gray cell are the formula values. For details of RULA theory, please check out the link mentioned in the description below. We know that for calculating the ruler score, we have to go through the following steps, like we have to input the upper arm value, we have to input the lower arm value, wrist and wrist twist value. And after combination of these score, we can calculate the posture score of A that is actually come out from table A. Similarly, for table B, for calculating the posture score B that is actually comes out from table B, we need the net, trunk and leg score values. And these score values are actually comes from the human posture, mean the posture where he or she is actually working. So after comes out from posture score A value and posture score B value, we have to add the muscles and the forces, and after summing these three values we come up with the score value C and score value D, and these two values are actually inputs for the grand score value that is actually indicating the ruler score value. Score C value is actually the row value of the table C, and score D value is actually the column value of table C. Mean, net, trunk and leg score values are used for the columns, and the wrist and arm scores values are used for the rows. And after their interaction, the value is actually the ruler score. This is the basic general procedure of calculating the ruler score. For more details, please check the link mentioned in the description below. Okay, so how we can automate this sheet? So let's start. First of all, I have just made the cosmetic changes on my worksheet and put it down the figures for understanding the steps. So in the step 1, we have to enter the or locate the upper arm position. This value is 4, and here you can see the maximum value is 4 and minimum value is 1. And how we can make this list? For making this list, you have to simply move to the data tab, and under the data tab click this data validation button. Under this data validation button, select this pull down arrow, a list option, and type it here with adding a comma like 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, and this is actually the source value of this cell. Or input message, you can add the title and input message as well for description purpose. And then you can see the values are showing in the form of list. Same procedure is repeating for the rest of the values. And here you can see the description. For adding the description, I am using the input message tab. Here I am adding the title, that is upper arm adjustment, and input message. If the shoulder is raised, +1. If the shoulder arm is abducted, +1. And if arm is supported or leaning, add -1. So here you can see -1, 0 for nothing, and 1 and 2 values. Okay, so let's move further to the step 2, and here you can see again the list value that is showing the 1 or 2 value and the adjusted lower arm adjusted value. Same procedure is repeated for the rest of the cells that is actually indicated in the black color cell. For gray out cell, you can see formulas are mentioned there. How we can apply a formula here? To apply the formula here, let's first discuss the formula in steps. These are the values that is actually comes out from the posture of a worker, like upper arm score, lower arm score, wrist or wrist twist score. And these values are actually coming from the observing the posture, as I mentioned before. So here you can see a formula, and I'm using here index and match function. Here I'm actually using the different name ranges to simplify the cell values. Table A is actually showing this covered area that is in blue color. That is the array mean output array that is actually indicating the finally stored value of table A. And this stored value of table A is actually come out by using two arguments, that is the row number and the column number. This one is used for the row number and this one is used for the column number. For row number, I am using an other function, that is the match function. In the match function, first argument is the lookup value, but unfortunately here the case we have to add the two values. That's why I am using here AND operator to simplify these two cell values. So my upper arm score is 4, that is C27, and C28 is the lower arm score. So these two values are actually found in these two lookup array. First array for the upper arm and second array for the lower arm, and these two arrays are joined using this AND operator. And then match type, that is 0, mean I want the exact match. Okay, so these are the arguments for the row number. For the column number, repeat the same procedure like wrist or wrist twist score values are shown here, C29 and C30, and here is the name ranges of wrist and the wrist twist score values, and again using a 0 for exact match, and then simply press enter and you will get the result, that is 4. So let's check either this formula is correct or not. So you can see the upper arm score value is 4, mean it is lie between these three values, and the lower arm score value is 2. It means our required cell argument is this one, that is 4 2. And for the rest, column value is 3 or 1. So this one is 3 and this one is 1, and the resultant value is this 4, and here you can see a 4. Okay, so the formula is working properly. Next cell is the add the muscle use score. Okay, for adding the muscle score, you have to set its value 1 if the posture is mainly static or action is repeated, occurs 4 times per minute. So here you can see the value of 0 and 1. But I have to add here a 1 because the posture is in this case, let's say, is static. Then add the force or load score, and for that score you have to use this description, like if the load is less than 4.4 pounds, then add plus 0, mean nothing. If the load is 4.4 pounds to 2.22 pounds, then add plus 1. If the load is 4.4 pounds to 22 pounds, static or repeated, then add plus 2. If the load is more than 22 pounds or repeated or shorts, then add plus 3. So with respect to this description, add the store value here, but in this case our store value is 0. And at last simply sum these three values, that is the table value, table A value, plus the muscle score value plus the force or load score value, and the answer for table C entry is 5. Okay, now let's move to the second part, that is the B table, and here I have to mention the net, trunk and lead score values that is actually shown here, and the posture B score is calculated again using the index and match function, and here again using the same logic as it is explained for table A. Nothing would be changed, exactly same formula is used here, but the difference is name ranges. Here the name range is table B and this one is the net posture score name range, this one is the trunk posture name range, and this one is the lead range, and these are the input values. And after that, after pressing the enter, you will get the store, and you will see the net score is 2, trunk score is 2, and lead score is 1, and the output value is 2, and here you can see the 2 value. Okay, the next step is you have to add again the muscle score and the force load score value, and then sum these three values, and you will get the table C column value, that is 3. So you can see we can simply calculate the row and column value for table C to calculate the final score of our RULA score. Okay, one more thing is here you can see the upper arm value, and here you can see the upper arm adjustment value. So if you add any value in this cell, then these two values are actually sum at this stage. Here you can see RULA from the RULA sheet, the cell value is I5 plus I8, mean this cell reference is I5 and I8, these two values are sum and shown here. So here is actually 4, that's why it indicating the 4. Actually this calculation sheet is used only for illustration purpose, so that you people easily understand the backward procedure, what's actually going around here. Okay, so now we have calculated the score C and score D, and the next step is we have to calculate the ruler score value, that is actually these row and column values. It's really simple. So again we are using the index and match function, and here I'm using the name of table C, and these are the row and these are the columns and these are the inputs. But why I'm not using these two inputs, will tell you in a minute. And after their combination, like 5 and 3, you can see the score value is 4, and here you will get the ruler score, that is 4. Okay, so the important thing is if the value is more than 8 or if the value is more than 7, then this formula will be not work if you use these two cell references. So here I am using the conditional formula, that is if this cell value is greater than 8, then add 8, else add the cell value. And same formula means same condition is used here for logical test value. If its value is greater than 7, then add 7, else add the cell value. That's why here I am using these two arguments. Okay, so these are the some backend steps that was used to calculate the ruler score, and hope so you will understand the process how ruler score is actually calculated backward. Okay, so in this sheet you can see these black cell are the input cell as I am told before, and these are the formula cell, and I explained these formula like here the formula is same that is actually using here. So this formula is actually picking the value from table A, that is shown here. This one is the table A range. So Excel is just picking up the values from that ranges. Exactly same formula is shown here that was covered before, and these are the sum of these three values, and these are the sum of these three values. And now we have to use these two cell values to calculate the final score. So simplicity, I'm just write it down these values again here to just link the formula values, that is E45, E46, E47 and E48. Same for the column B. And these cell values are actually sum of these two values, and this value is actually sum of these two values, and so on. And same is the case here. Okay, so for calculating the final score, we are again using the index and match function. It's really simple, nothing difficult. Simple index and match function that is shown here. It's actually copy this formula here. But here you can see a new function, that is the let function, is used between the match function. This actually function is just helping out to say to this step. Like this step is actually used in the let function just to simplify the formula. Otherwise, we have to again repeat these cell values again and again. To simplify these values, I am using the let function that is actually used to name the formula as a variable. So this value is named as the R, mean the row value, and the value of this row is 5. And now check its condition. If R is greater than 8, then substitute 8, else substitute R, and R value is 5. So I'm no longer repeating the same cell addresses. So just simplifying my formulas using this let function. And again here for the column value. So remember, you can see it's a really simple formula. It's not very complex. It's looking complex, but it's actually not a complex formula. I am simply using the index and match function, nothing else. And index and match function for the row value using the match value, match function, and for column address using again the match function. And to satisfy the condition, if the value is greater than 8 and greater than 7, we have to use these condition, and to add these condition, I am simply using the let function to repeat these condition, and to overcome repeating these cell addresses, I am using the let function here, nothing else. Okay, here you can see the final score is 4. This indicate that the score is actually lie between 3 or 4, indicate the further investigation is needed and changes may be required. Okay, now let's test this formula to change these cell values. Let's change it to 2. Let's change it to 1. Let's change its lower arm value to 1. And let's change the twist value to 4. And let's add the muscle value 1 and add the force to 2, and here you will see the row entry that is 8. So just to increase this number to, now you can see it's actually sum of 5 plus 2 plus 1, that is 8. Let's change it to 9 just to illustrate either our function is working properly or not. So let's change its value to 2, and let's change this value to 4, and here you can see the value is 10, but our function is working properly. Okay, now let's move to the table B value. Changes to 4, changes to 1, sorry, changes to 3. Let's adjust its value to 1, its lead value 2, and its force value to this. And here you can see 10, and here you can see 11, but the formula is still working properly just because of these condition, if conditions value. Okay, so you can check, or from the table C, its row value is 10 and column value is 11, mean its value is greater than the 8 and its value is greater than 7, mean we are using these two arguments to calculate the RULA score, that is 7, and here you can see the score value is 7, mean the changes are required immediately. Okay, let's perform this example to check whether this cells are working properly or not. So this is the actually hypothetical case. Let's apply this real world example. The upper value is 1 and the lower arm value is 2. So now let's change it to 1 and change it to 0, and lower arm value is 2. Okay, the wrist score is 2 and the wrist twist score is 1, 2 or 1. Okay, so now change it to 2, change it to 1, and the answer is 2, and here you can see the 2. Okay, add this force to 0 or muscle score to 1. Muscle score to 1, and this is 0, and the answer is 3, and here you will get 3. Okay, now let's move to the second step. It's step 9, its value is 2, its value is 1. So let's change its value to 2, change this adjustment value to 0, let's change the trunk value to 1, or set its adjusted value to 0, and for let its value is this, that is 3. So add is muscle force 1 or load force to 0. So now let's change this to 0 and the value is 4. Okay, its lat value is actually 1. I'm not changing the lat value, let's change this to 1. Store is 3 and 3 and 3, let's check it out. 3 and 3 and this one is 3, and here you will also get the 3 value, and here you can also get the 3 value. Okay, so in this video we learned the steps that was required to automate the RULA worksheet using Excel. Thank you.